nested loops. So just like an if statement, and how we had nested if statements, we can also have nested loops in loops. So an easy way to show this out, we're going to simulate a clock. So we're going to say for int hours equal 1, hours is less than or equal to 12. We're only doing 12 hours. And then we're going to say hours plus plus. And then after hours, we have minutes. So int minutes equals 0, because we want to start at 0 minutes. Minutes is less than or equal to 59, because once we hit 60, we want it to make a new hour. And then minutes plus plus. And then we're going to do the same thing for seconds as minutes. So 0 seconds less than or equal to 59 seconds plus plus. And then all we're going to do is system.out.printf. And we're going to go percent 02d colon percent 02d colon percent 02d slash n comma hours comma minutes comma seconds semicolon. So if I run this, it's just going to spit out a bunch of time and it's done. That was really fast. So 12:59:59. So that's how we did it. So if I did 24 here instead, it would go to 24:59:59 before it rolled over again. So that is basically a nested loop. It's just a loop within another loop. So what happens is this loop runs first, then this loop, and then this loop. So the innermost loop will always run first before the outermost loop. So let's do another example, and we're going to do with just how we were doing test scores in the other one. We're going to go int num students, and we're going to say num tests, score, and total, because we're going to keep a running total as well. And then we're going to say double average. So we're going to say scanner keyboard equal new scanner system.in. And then we're going to go with, we're going to get the number of students, because this is the number of students and the number of tests is going to control our loops. So I'm going to say system.out.print how many students. And then I'm just going to say num students equals keyboard.next int. And then I'm going to get the number of tests. So system.out.print tests, how many tests were given. Num tests equals keyboard.next int. And now we want to control our loop. So I want to process all students. So I'm going to say for int student equals 1. We can't have less than 1 student. Student is less than or equal to num students, student plus plus. And then I want to set the accumulator to 0. So I'm going to just say total equals 0. And then now I want to get the test score for a student. So I'm going to say system.out.println. I'm going to say student number. And then here I'm going to say plus student, because I want it to keep an accurate count of student 1, student 2, student 3, and so on and so forth. And then we're going to just do some dashes here to kind of make it look nice. Semicolon. And then now we're going to say for int test equals 1, because a student is going to take at least 1 test. Test is less than or equal to num tests, and then test plus plus. And then now we just do it like normal. We're going to say system.out.print. I'm going to say test. And I'm going to just put plus test, because it'll say test 1, test 2, test 3. And then here we can be nice again and make it look a little pretty. And I'm going to say score. And then now we're going to say score equals keyboard.nextInt. And then now we want to add it to the total score. And that's our innermost loop. Then on the outermost loop, I want to calculate the average and display. So we're going to say average equals keyboard, total divide by num tests. And then now I'm going to say system.out.printf. I'm going to say average score for student. And I'm going to say %d is %.1f, comma, student, comma, average. And then here, before I get into trouble, we want to give some extra spaces for it. Otherwise, it would all be bunched up. So how many students? Let's just do 2. 2 tests were given. Test 1 score, they got an 89, and let's say a 95.5. So here, because I put a 0.5, it's not a double for a test, so I can't do that. So let's run it again. 2, 85, a 90. There we go. Average score for student 1 is an 87. Is a 51. So, and that is how we do nested loops, and that's how it would work in an actual program of nested loops, is just by doing this. And then in our next video, we're actually going to start looking at files.